Hello and welcome back to another episode of Village Idiot. I am the village idiot in question, the person roaming the streets screaming, help me, the future. You get it. But for now, I'm just going to continue doing exactly what I'm doing because I lean with it, rock with it. So today I thought I would do something a little different. I wasn't even planning on coming on here and doing this, but I've been having so much fun reading astrology that I'm like, why am I not just recording me doing it? Because I am so selfish that I might as well do something about it, type thing. But anyway, don't look at me. Anyway, today I thought I would summon up someone who is equally as selfish as me, Ryan Serhant. Now, this guy, I actually low key I'm a fan. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. I am a fan. I'm actually not a hater or an op of Ryan Serhant. I have no choice but to respect the game from what we have seen from him only on Netflix. Now, as you can see, I have listed that he has been on a number of shows. Bro has been traded more than the NFL from network to network because we have here that bro is a little bit of a what's a show slore? What would be like a good word for that? A slore. Because he was on Million Dollar Listing, Owning Manhattan, Sell It Like Serhant, and I recently saw he also had a renovation show for his own house, which I imagine he got funding for the renovation in his house and got to record it for TV. I mean, listen, I have no choice but to respect the game, okay? Like, y'all just not doing it like this guy. Okay, so today I was so inspired by him, and I was watching Owning Manhattan season 2 because I loved season 1 because I work in New York. Don't look at me. And I was like, oh, he has to have a Leo moon. He's got to because he's got that special kind of like flavor of annoying that only Leo moons have because they have no idea when to stop talking, kind of thing. Like I'm a Leo sun, so I recognize it in them, and I'm like, oh no, you don't know. Like so, I clocked and I looked it up, and I was right. Painful. Oh, painful. So I said, you know what? Fuck it. Let's go for it. Shall we go for it? Shall we go for it? I said, you know what? Let's just pull up the whole thing and take a look at Ryan Serhant. And if you're watching this, King, I'm such a little fan. You got your gig diva. Let's see what we learned about you today. Because I did not pre-look. Now let's look. Okay. Without further ado, dude. Ryan. Okay, let's keep it going. I got my handy dandy Apple Pencil with me too. Okay. So I pulled up two versions of the chart here. You could see I also added versions with the asteroids already added in. Now, I'm going to be honest before I get into bro a bit. Okay, I'm going to say something. You're going to judge me, but you're just going to have to listen to me because remember, I'm the village idiot. Okay. I am the village idiot. Okay. I'm stupid. So you have to listen to me. One of my exes looks kind of like Ryan Serhant. I can't explain it. No, not. And the thing is they're not even the same ethnicity. There is actually nothing to link the two of them, except, the fact that they have a Cancer placement. And I believe Ryan is so similar, also in demeanor, that when I clocked the Leo moon, I said, "Oh, wait a minute. He has to have a Gemini rising. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That he's just like my ex, looks just like this, had a Gemini rising and a Cancer placement. And as someone with a Leo placement, I'm like, and I recognize the other part of you. So this is definitely like I also have a Gemini moon. So unfortunately, when I saw bro, I was like, oh, you're just like me for real. Like for some reason, also I resonated with him talking about how people just want to make him the op, even though he's just trying to mind his business. He's like, I'm in my house with my kids. Like I don't. Why do you all hate me? And it's because you're kind of annoying in vibe. But I mean, same. So all I'm saying is game recognized game. Okay, I know ball. Okay, and that ball is a Gemini rising, undoubtedly. Okay, so with that in mind, I gave the thing a little tweak, so we take a look at it as if it's got a Gemini rising, okay? Don't get mad at me. We can pretend it's something different after, because I have the regular kind, okay? But for now, let's just look at it. Let's just look, and maybe you'll agree with me. Pencil. My pencil! Do you know SpongeBob? My pencil! That was a great SpongeBob episode. Anyway, okay. So, we have here, he's very handsome, look very good here. Yes, I'm sure everyone hate me for that, because they're like, yo, he's so annoying. Low key. Two things can be true. First up, let's look to the energetic degrees, anything that we see off the bat. Firstly, something interesting I see, you see me circling over here, Chiron at the 5th degree. Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay. I don't think, I don't think that's an inactive placement. Okay. According to the degree theory book, yes, I read degree theory. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Also, I'm doing this video literally as a break for me because the last video that I did was Diddy and Justin Bieber, which is coming out soon. So please subscribe so you watch that. And the Diddy and Justin Bieber, the mic died halfway through that video. And I was like so bummed by that I had to like take a lap. Also because it's such a dark topic. I was like, oof. So I'm really happy to be talking about this. So shout out to you, Ryan Serhant, just to give me something to talk about. That is not the diddler. Okay. So fifth degree, according to the Nicholas Doctor mathematician astrologer who wrote degree theory, the fifth degree is famously a sexy degree. Erotic is the word he uses. I don't make the rules. I can hear you booing. I don't make the rules. An erotic degree. Now, in addition, wounded. So Chiron is the wounded healer, right? So in this case, the wound is a Leoism, is about putting himself out there, is about being sexy, is about being perceived, about all these things and communication. I bet you when he was a young teen, I bet you his coming into adulthood was very, very, very awkward. Like, I bet you the time in his life that was like the teen formative years were really formative for him. I bet you he really struggled in that because that Leo moon, also at this anoretic degree, this unlucky degree in the last section of Leo, Diva, that is not a unpresent placement. Like, this would have been someone who would have been acting out in more ways than one, trying to find themselves as a teen from a young age, because he would have been very hyper intelligent. In addition, we also know that this guy used to be an actor, so I think that that was definitely themes of that was explored through here as well, in whatever means that is. I think that's probably something that he probably doesn't like to talk about, if I'm being honest. I don't know why I feel that way, but this feels like this is close information. But the craziest part is that the North Node, so the point of his soul is actually to explore it. But the North Node's at a different degree. The North Node, even though they're together, which how can you say astrology is not real? Like, that is so evident. Look at everything else in the chart, right? Everything else, all these other placements, but those two are together this far apart, and you think that means nothing? No. The fourth degree also refers to Cancer, which is ironically his son again. So coming more into himself, but also Cancer is reflective of the parent. So becoming more of a parent, but all in Gemini. So the communicative, the mercurial parent, the parent that is constantly working, that is getting around from thing to thing to thing, but also exploring themselves. So we have a degree here that explores multiple things because it's the fourth degree of Cancer where his son also resides. So it's exploring himself. It's exploring themes of children, and it's exploring themes of mercurial energy because it's in Gemini. So the travel. And I think I'm gonna be real. I really think if you were to hold a gun to my head, I swear to you, his ascendant is there. Because then it would also mean that the point of this life is for him to continue, is to explore himself, to become more of himself, which clock it, the business is what? Serhant, right, which is what? His name, which is what? The Sun, Venus, and Mercury. I assume this is all in the second house because name, the Sun, for a business. Venus, the thing he loves to do. Mercury, Venus is money, by the way, in the money house. So this would be like the Taurus house, right? In the second house. So the business would not only be super fruitful, these are all great planets, it would make him travel a lot. Mercury, clock it, clock it, clock it. I cannot make this up, y'all. And the sun, because it's him. Get it? He is Serhant. The business is him. And also, he identifies with his money making. Are you seeing me? Are you seeing my point? Are we maybe seeing my point? Now, if we work under that logic, the ascendant being in the Gemini house, I think it honestly could be, I think it honestly would be closer to the top section. Like, let me change the color because I look like a scribbly child right now. I'm sorry, I look like such an asshole drawing this right now. Literally, I am. I am an asshole. That's part of it. So I think the ascendant would be anywhere like over here-ish, probably anywhere that could make this fit in the second house. So this is, so whether that sticks these north node in the first house with Chiron or puts it in the second house, sorry, not the second house, puts the Chiron placement. Let me erase all this because I look like such an asshole right now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Don't get mad at me. Okay, so yeah. I think that if we were to assume that all of this is the second house, then that placement can either put these two placements in the first or in the 12th. Scary thought. Scary thought that it would be in the 12th. Because the Chiron, I could see it being like Chiron conjunct ascendant in the 12th. Also because I read on his Wikipedia page that he changed religions for his marriage. So to Greek Orthodox. So could also see that potentially being like he had an issue with religion, and part of his life also was exploring that. But North Node being in hidden and confined spaces in the 12th house is like interesting to me, because I guess the idea would be like houses, exploring houses. Maybe that's also what the placement here, the idea of like Taurus here, it's like people's homes. I guess that makes sense. 12th house, Taurus homes, and then Gemini selling them. I guess that could be it. To be honest, if I was to use whole sign astrology, I would assume just Gemini would be in the first house, which would put all those in the first house. But I could just as easily see Placidus putting Gemini like late stage and putting those in the 12th. But I don't see like a super early Taurus where they would stick these placements of Sun, Venus, Mercury in third. I guess I could see that. I guess I could. But I just love the idea of, I'm sorry, of Cancer homes in the Taurus house of selling literally money with I'm sorry, it just makes too much sense. So we can assume that's playing out to me across like second, third, first houses. I think I have you, King. I think I got you. I think I picked you out, if I'm being honest. I think I have you. But so with that in mind, let's keep him pushing. So that would potentially put all of these placements over here. So we're seeing that stinky, stinky anoretic Pluto in Mercury, which is the Leo degree. Uh, Potentially, I would say in the sixth house, because I would assume then that all of these crazy ass placements are playing out across your sixth house, like your obsession, your phallus in so Mars in Scorpio at the 12th degree of Pisces. So like this boundless love energy, but also that's obsession. That Mars Scorpio placement is high powered. That's the height of that placement actually. So that would be prominent. And in this case, it's conjunct Saturn. So some of the worst lessons are exploration around this, because it's at also the Sagittarius degree, ninth degree. That's a lucky degree of Saturn, but Saturn is retrograde. So he will be getting whacked with lessons a lot harder. Now, I would assume this would all be in the sixth house. Like, does that make sense? Because this is all work. These are all work lessons. Because I wouldn't imagine, I mean, I guess it's possible if I was to use whole sign. Like, okay, wait, let me move this. Sorry, I'm like being so like, sorry, I'm just a village idiot. Sorry, just a small village idiot, small guy. I'm just a small guy. Okay, so if I assume this is first, and I assume Cancer second, and I assume Leo's third, which puts this beautiful, beautiful moon actually on his IC, which gives it a great placement, quite a lovely placement. Then fourth, Mercury, which is Virgo here, which is kind of sus. Then fifth house, Libra, with an heretic degree of Pluto. Hate that. Really hate that. Look me in my eyes. Really hate that. Pluto in your fifth house. You don't want a malefic planet like Pluto in the house of joy and children. That's not a good sign. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't like that. I'm gonna pray for King Bro that in Placidus it evens out that that's in sixth, the sixth house, like that it kind of just ends here. I'm gonna change the color again. Again, I look like an asshole. I'm sorry. Uh, I'm gonna pray that it plays out so that the separation between the houses is like here-ish, so that we don't see that issue from his children. But I'm going to be honest, it is very possible that that is the thing. It is also in a yod, as we can see here, to the north node. So yod is interesting in that yod has a weird relationship. It is not necessarily positive, it is not necessarily negative, it is odd. Literally, it is at an odd angle is what is that's considered. So the the Pluto upheavals in his life, whether that means, and in the fifth house also rules short-term like pleasure, and also like um it makes sense also that he was an actor and that he blew up, because that kind of placement, it's a fame degree to the anoretic final degree of Libra. But I think it's even more interesting that he's really having this kind of fame after marriage, because the idea here sort of gives to me blowing up after marriage, Pluto 29th degree Leo. So fame for like arts, being theatrical, like being out and about, like it's fame. Leo fame. He's in entertainment. I don't know what you want me to say. Are you getting it? And in Libra, so during his marriage, but in the fifth house, which makes me think there might be some tea here we haven't seen yet from you, King. I'm gonna be honest with you, because this Chiron, to me, on your ascendant, like literally right near that ascendant, that stinky ascendant with the North Node in a yod to Pluto, means that part of your destiny is to be wounded, to be known as the wounded person, seen as a wounded person, and working through that, especially at the fifth degree, which is like an erotic degree. It's almost giving to me like there's a challenged image here, and your children potentially will cause further drama. Like it's giving your Nepo children will grow up and be part of your life's lesson in karma, especially clock it, a conjunction range with Saturn in the sixth house of work. Ooh, I don't like that. I don't like that. So to me, this is really, again, I also can't play out the houses. I'm getting too far advanced into this, assuming that that's where your ascendant is. I should not. I should not. I'm gonna go back to pretending that it's not. But that Pluto Saturn conjunction is also noticeable in this case, all within the sign, this stellium in Mars. So this obsession. And Mars is the ruler of other people's money, sex, death, sex, taxes, and other people's money. So in this case, to me, as a multimillionaire and owner of a multi-million dollar company, it makes perfect sense to me that he would be dealing in the realms of art, 12th degree, of pleasure, right? Of all these things, other people's, because he's also an actor again and is on TV. So all of this is being watched by other people. The drama is being seen by other people, and he is benefiting from that, even though it is going to be some of his greatest life lessons. Now, you can also see it is very evidently in a great sextile to this wonderful seventh degree Jupiter in Capricorn. Okay. Now, if I continue to assume what I'm assuming, yes. If I continue to assume what I'm assuming about this first house, again, don't kill me, I'm sorry, but I'll pretend I won't in a second, but if I did assume that that's what the house was, uh, this Jupiter, this Jupiter in Capricorn. So business, literally expansive business, great place for Jupiter to be, an explosion and joy of business. So obviously he's a great businessman in the seventh degree of Libra. So in business partnerships, all of these things he's very good at. And also in his marriage, he exploded after marriage, sextile to Pluto in Libra, at the Leo degree. So it's a very, very famous, popular, right? And if I assume that's in the eighth house, then whole sign, then that is also in the house of other people's money. So inheritance, and then also other people, what they want to pay you. Makes perfect sense then that he would be what he is. And if you look to the house ruler, which is Mars, we see Mars is in the sixth house of work. So all of these is other people's money from work. I think makes perfect sense to me. But again, we're not going to assume. Either way, we're going to say that's a great placement. Now, it is also in a yod to his wound. That I think is really noticeable. He has this really crazy yod from fortune here over to this wound. Now, I think that because his ascendant is there, in my opinion, it also means that he would randomly blow up himself. Like his person would randomly blow up, which I think is so true because who is this guy? Where did he come from? Literally, and all of a sudden Netflix was like, yeah, he's been famous. We're like, what? Like that's what he gives me is very like yod can just is Uranian quality to yod. It'll just blow it all of a sudden. Be like here, bing, bing, like all of a sudden it's something. And it's not necessarily good, but in this case, the fortune tie to Jupiter creates a good relationship with Chiron. So sudden healing bursts, but also sudden annoyances as well, because Chiron would be like suddenly your expansion irritates. Something will happen with someone else, like other people's money, other people's contracts, sex, sex, all those things. And it will annoy his internal wound on his person, which can also explain why he has kind of what feels like a palpable big ego, because it's just the way he's viewed by the people around him in the space as like, whoa, kind of a vibe in Gemini, which I think makes sense. Like over communicative, flighty, nervous, but also like this Leo moon gives him an aspect of ego, constant egocentrism. And then Cancer, which sun, which is what is that supposed to mean, ass sun? Oh my god, he is such a what is that supposed to mean? kind of sorry. That same sun and moon, by the way, is shared by Tefi from Tefi Talks from the cut, and yes, it is. One video of Tefi talking will give you an example. Yes, yeah, same thing. Yeah. It can create the same thing also when you have like similarly like a sun in a dominant placement. Um, okay. Now I guess the MC could be anywhere up here logistically. I don't really, if I knew the degrees of exacts of things, I could tell you exactly what the thing is. I mean, what if the whole time I was wrong? What if his ascendant is something totally different than what I think? What if I'm totally wrong? Could be totally true. And I will addendum this and say so sorry when that happens. So actually, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna shift back to the regular one because I don't really see. Actually, I do see this killer be kill Mercury. That's a little scary. We could go into that before I move on. Oh, and a killer be kill Lilith. Oh, hate that. Degrees. Okay. Well, a killer be kill actually Lilith. I guess that would on the MC would make sense to me in Pisces. But what? No, that wouldn't make sense, right? Yeah, I guess it could be like 10,000. Which is like that's a Capricorn degree. Yes, it is. So, so, wow, wait a minute. Lilith Capricorn degree. So the business banshee, the business shrew, right? Like screaming and yelling at the business, right? In but Pisces, so this like we're a we're a family, and also because it's on TV and stuff, like which rules confined spaces. So like the whole idea is his job is around Piscean themes. Does that make sense? So sometimes I get it. Sometimes it's the arts. Sometimes in this case it's enclosed spaces. Wow, how fascinating is that? It's like the 10th house in this case is a generalization of things he's involved in. How interesting is that? If I was to go by this first house logic, which again, you could be wrong. I'm gonna be totally wrong. I'm so sorry. I'm literally gonna be totally wrong, and I'm gonna look so embarrassed. Well, then if that happens, I'm gonna delete this, pretend I never said a thing, and I'm gonna do the whole thing again with a better one. But if I was to assume that that was that, then I would assume with that killer be kill Lilith in a trine to killer be kill Mercury. Oh man. Oh man. Actually, so he is known. This would tell me that on the job, he is actually known as like a little psycho. Like behind the scenes, maybe we're not seeing it because of TV and the way that he's like very particular portraying himself for TV. Maybe that's what that wound in the first house thing that I wasn't picking up on was. This is actually it's a performance for TV. Fifth degree, Leo. It's a performance. The first house is a performance. Wow. With that 22nd degree Lilith at the top of the chart, trine to Mercury at the 22nd degree, also the killer be kill degree. So at business, in work. So literally, we'll call you up and fire you. We'll walk up, you're fired. Literally, if you get him mad on the wrong day, he like will blow up kind of vibe. But it's in a stable house. It's in a good fortune house. So it's like all of this benefits him, but he's seen kind of as this lone figure. Lilith is the lone figure, the one that branched out by themselves, right? That flew off by themselves because she didn't want to be imprisoned with Adam. So she was always seen and portrayed to be this like evil figure, this shrew, this woman of divorce or whatever, because she went off all by herself and like controlled her own demons, da da da. So the story goes, and became like her own spirit. That's kind of what this is giving. This is giving like he didn't have anyone else in his lane, kind of thing, or didn't agree with being told what to do. Like he was having trouble on the job with other people sensing this Lilith energy in him, and so it was creating issues. And so he broke out and became his own person. Mercury conjunction Venus and Sun also at the 10th degree of Capricorn. So Capricorn vibe. So all these times he has been ready and built to just build himself up the ranks anyway. And notice how it is also in a weird yod placement, like a not a full yod, but a semi moment to again this wound of his person, because that's the issue, right? The issue was the wound was tied to his person, which is how he had to branch out on his own to make his own way in work, is what this is saying. And also if his ascendant is there, it's basically saying the wounded person, because it was constantly, because I remember he has this sound bite that I really like that I agreed with, that was like, I don't know why everyone dislikes me so much. Like I'm gonna watch the good guys win. I'm gonna be the good guys winning. Like he has a very wounded appearance. You don't like him for some reason. He gives villain energy, and this kind of vibe sort of gives that. Like even this photo I put here to kind of demonstrate the vibe of what he's trying to give off online, which is feels different than the kind of nerdy person underneath, but he's a shrewd businessman, which I think also makes perfect sense. Fame degree of Neptune retrograde, all in the seventh house. Partnerships have been tough for him. Partnerships have been really difficult, and coming out of, I guess I shouldn't say that this is necessarily partnerships. I should just go ahead with the idea of Neptune and Sag means that these placements of higher expansion, okay, these placements of higher religion, higher learning, people that were supposed to be above him have done nothing but hurt him. This situation where some of his greatest lessons and also insecurities. Now he's been built up the ranks by these people, fortune, fortune conjunction, but also been cut down by them because Neptune there means also there can be fog surrounding your own fortune. So periods of his life where he's like, this will never work out for me. And also periods where he is directly blessed in his wildest dreams, 29th degree, anoretic degree, wildest dreams. He gets given uh happiness at the last moment kind of a thing. It also gives me because the seventh degree, it also gives like there is blessings in partnerships, even if it feels challenged or like there's constant upheaval in growth, especially in business. 10th degree, Capricorn, business. I also, again, if that's in the seventh house, then that is also business partnerships and also his own marriage. So these constant upheavals are things that are occurring to him during the period of his time where he is married. Makes perfect sense. Also can happen to him that he can potentially get divorced in the future. Like if something were to happen, that will play out in the future though, because these placements are, I'm going to be honest, a little sus, but he will always land on his feet because he has that fortune placement at the seventh degree partnerships in Capricorn. So even though technically that's the downfall of Jupiter, because Jupiter is actually happiest in its opposite sign, but because of that, it actually creates a big opposition. So there is a tie to his sun. His person is fortunate. His person is tied to fortune, to largesse, because that's what that placement does. Okay, Jupiter is the large expander, so it'll make his person bigger in business. Literally the tie. Cancer, people's homes, Sun. He exists at the Capricorn degree, business of people's homes, tied to Jupiter in partnerships, literally contracts, legal contracts in business. His business helps get other people their fucking homes. God bless you. That is literally what that astrology literally means. I'm sorry. That is so. I'm sorry. There's this is so plain to me, but okay. Uranus. So in his past life, in addition, he came from a place where he was constantly upheavaled as it almost gives his cancer degree in Sag. It's almost as if it gives like in a past life he was a roaming musician with children, and they had constant upheaval, and like they got their shit kicked out of them, like their shit smacked. So in this life, he has to learn how to stabilize himself, his image, and his children, how to lock down his children and his business. It's kind of like giving like, no, you stay here kind of vibe. This North Node here, you stay here. Because Gemini also rules small connections, not big outward connections kind of thing. Um, I suppose if I'm totally wrong about what the first house is, this could be in like the 11th house type thing, for example. And then all of this, let's say if this was in the first and then this was in the 11th house, that would make sense. And then he has nothing in 12th sort of thing. That I guess could be totally true too. Something like that could prove to be true. Um, Sorry for guessing. But the point being here is the tie is legitimately like his past life, there was way too much upheaval energy, too much upheavals. And that's also in Jesta. So actually, from a previous life, that's the Nakshastra Jesta in Jyotish, which is rules obsession, grand fame, uh, constantly wanting what another person has. It's the eldest, it's the jealous eldest sister is the ruler of that nakshastra. So he's coming out of that place and into the place of what appears to be Rohini. It is Rohini, I'm right. Into Rohini, the place of happiness, joy, abundance. That's the plentiful nakshastra, the joy giver, the mother, the that's like Alice in Wonderland. It's controlled, it's tame, it's pleasurous, it collects for themselves. In this life, he's supposed to come out of this jealous mentality, which he still obviously can use. I mean, this Mars Scorpio placement is very clear to me that this jealous energy he still can use from previous lives. He still has that pursual energy in him, but he is taking this opportunity to step out of worldwide fame into smaller communities, into uh, being a parent, into childlikeness, like happiness, and creating abundance. Because that's what that Rohini is the great, like, it sucks up. And with the North Node there, the head of Rahu there means that it will never stop searching for that, searching to accumulate, searching to accumulate, searching to accumulate for itself. So he wants more homes. He wants bigger business. He wants to help people more. He wants, like, to provide more time for his children. He wants to give his wife more love, like that kind of, like, he's like, I want it all. I want a wife. I want kids. I want to have babies. I want to have houses. I want to have cars. I want to, like, all of those. He wants it all, kind of thing. I'm hearing that I want it all, want it. The fame and the fortune and more. I want it all. I mean, can we blame him for being a High School Musical character really at his soul core? Because he was a theater kid. He did describe himself. So I'm sorry that we're dealing with the Sharpay Evans. This is Sharpay Evans in real life. I don't make the rules. Okay, so now let's look at asteroids. Now that I've kind of given you my thoughts, we could go ahead and see if I was totally wrong, and we'll look at a fresh slate and say, okay, now we're not going to guess about the ascendancy house, and you're not going to get mad at me and yell at me. And instead, we're just going to look at the asteroids now. Okay, so we have fame appears to be between the 4th and 5th degree, which again is Leo, and eroticism, so famous for being this. And also, 4th degree could be Cancer. Again, I think some of this, which is homes, but also I think some of this again has not played out yet, if I'm being honest. I think some of this is like he, I'm not saying he's going to be a Nepo parent to a future Nepo baby, London Tipton, but I don't know. Let's wait and see, kind of thing. Um, he has Pallas Athena, which is genius, and because you have to think about Athena herself, she was a war strategist, right? On Lilith, bestie, I really do think that my assumption that this was on his MC, and thereby controlling pretty much, this is in his 10th house, thereby controlling his. I'm not saying that I'm probably right, because it would literally mean business acumen, intelligence, but whatever. No big. Let's just go ahead. So he has genius. He has genius about how to break off. We understand that, and it appears to be at the 20. That was the 22nd degree, wasn't it? Yeah, the killer degree, actually. Yeah. Ceres Anamor in Taurus. He has Vesta, so protection, alongside Juno, which is the wife, and Aphrodite, which, by the way, his wife is a Cancer. She is born literally the day after him, so they have a sun-sun conjunction, so it makes sense that it would be saying Juno, the wife, is in Cancer, because yes, she was. So there's a big, stupid conjunction between him and his wife, between the sun, Venus, and all of these, so she illuminates all these aspects in him. I think that's really lovely. And also, yeah, anyway, that's it. That's what I'm gonna say about that. Anyway, uh, child he has in Leo, which would, and make on his moon. So he is quite literally the make on your moon, like a placement on make like that. Make is money, is huge, expansive money. And that Leo anoretic degree make, literally like 29th degree make. So make money. I know I sound so dumb. Money 29th degree is also Leo, so the Leo degree of Leo, so big, broad, so TV, film, theater, television, and also business acumen, short-term partnerships, like all of these big, loud, it's loud. So these make money is his interest, and his moon is there too. And I still think this is at the bottom of his chart too, so it's at his most basic part of him wants to do that. Destiny in Virgo at the 12th, 11, looks like 11th or 12th degree, which is Piscean. So this idea of arts, again, exploring Jupiterian, so expansion, right? Does he have anything on the other side? Oh yeah, he also has a bunch of an enterprise, conjunct the North Node. So again, these are like, and Gemini is ruler of small communities. So all of these is giving a like big spaciousness and enterprise within the small community. So the people that he knows and can call that can make him money. So as in he, as the CEO of Serhant, hires more people to literally go out and make him more money. That's part of it because the Mercury is there too. Look at that. You see that big square also. Oh, the North Node being square, being in a semi square to Mercury is very interesting. It's like the more he has to expand and travel, the more it actually hurts him. That's interesting. He has Dejanira conjunct Moon. Dejanira is the wound. It's where we've been wounded. It's where we've been used, and it's in Virgo at the 4th degree. So he actually might have a really serious mother wound that he chooses not to speak about, or that the wound could potentially be around the health. 4th degree, because we see also this Chiron wound here. It's like I wonder if in the future he's either going to have health issues or if someone from his family potentially had really serious health issues in the past because this placement here, or if his mom was unwell because it's like health unwell mother or matrilineal line. So something regarding that could have been feels really close to home. And with his moon there, he would feel that really sharply. Like he would begin to identify his basis part, his most core emotional self with that victim mindset. So that can be quite a difficult placement as well. He has Rockefeller, which I also consider in Capricorn, so business, making money in business, and anything else, and fame, also similarly, same, almost conjunction range here, and he also has Psyche here. So all of these intelligent uses, and this Chiron North Node. I have to know what that means. That Chiron North Node is volatile because you will grow into the healer. You will become the healer that you seek, especially in the small communities, in the communities in your area, Gemini. You will become the healer that you seek. If that Pluto energetic degree in Libra is anything to show that there is something interesting here, because there's too many killer be killer degrees. Thank you so much for watching. I've been the Village Idiot. I obviously have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm just screaming into the void. Please don't sue me. I'm dumber than a bag of rocks. Hopefully you found some entertainment from today and I enjoyed. Please subscribe and check out my Diddy video when it comes out. I'm very interested to see the Justin Bieber Diddy synastry is scary, really interesting, and exactly what I thought. So very scary. Keep an eye out for that. Please leave a like or a comment telling me. And if you are Ryan Serhant, please email me. You're awesome. I would love to get a shout out. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just